and welcome to the daily reading for all signs for today, the 28th of September 2024. This is Ariel Gatoga, and today I am reading with this Fournier Le Tarot de Marseille. And let's purify with this Roger and Gallet Cédroit, also known as Citron, which is a wonderful cleansing cologne, and it's a nice substitute if you have it for Van Van. I have put links to each of these products in the video description of this video on YouTube. Let's see what's in the cards for everybody today. Starting with the 10 of Cups, 4 of Coins, 5 of Coins. Yeah, right? Some money fears about the future. People are afraid that they're not going to be able to make ends meet, which is interesting because your finances are expanding right now. And you're coming out of like a really good ending or some sort of really good prosperous experience. And I just think that that's par for the course with the ego. It's like, well, if something good is happening, or if it's, things are looking up, then the ego says, well, there is another shoe that's going to fall. So here, duck and cover. Just be aware of that, because what we project into the future can come true. It doesn't always come true, but there can be self-fulfilling prophecies. It's, a lot of times people in law of attraction make it sound like it's so easy. You just think of something and voila, it's there. That's not how it works. It takes concerted effort to make things work. So it's really about what you're habitually thinking and what you're believing that tends to manifest. And so that's some, and there's a huge lag time between a thought form and a manifestation. So you don't have to worry that if you've had some financial fears about the future, that they're inevitable. They're not. You just turn them around right now. And in fact, it's saying what you can do is clean something up. Just clean something up. Just go and find something that's messy and clean it up. You don't have to get obsessive and clean up everything. Just clean out one drawer, one cabinet, one something, one cupboard, one room, and dedicate that order to your fear being taken care of. So as I clean out this drawer, so does the universe take care of my financial future. That kind of thing. I call that household magic. And the 4 of Coins is a wonderful household magic card because it is a card of Jupiter. As you get things in order, Jupiter gets things in order for you and expands on your good. I sometimes use the image of raising a big tent. All you're responsible for is nailing the 4 corners of the tent down, and Jupiter will take care of the big expansive tent being erected. And so with the way you nail those tent pegs down is simply by finding something that's out of order in a small way in your life and get it into order. All right, so let's just open this reading up because I want you to know how easy this is for you to have something wonderful in your future rather than projecting fears into your future. We've got the Page of Wands. Ooh, see, 7 of Coins, and then the 8 of Swords. So everything is being forced into the future right now, and you can change the trajectory quickly. 3 things to do. One we've already talked about, and that's nailing down the tent pegs. The next thing to do is find a way to beautify your environment, yourself. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do that, or any money to do that. Just get some flowers from the garden maybe, or rearrange the furniture in the living room, or change the plants around. Do something that makes you feel aesthetically pleased. Do your hair differently, whatever it is. Something that's way in your means, that's well within your means to do, to create a sense of beauty. And then a sense of order. So we've got the sense of beauty and the sense of order. What that does is expand your good and bring you an upgrade and turn things around for you. then the final thing that you can do is when you're feeling these fears of the future and your mind can't stop, use the off switch or some other technique to stop it. You have to shut your mind off. The fears and the obsessive thinking, don't fall into the trap of thinking that it's somehow like a premonition or a warning. It's not. It's your ego trying to taunt you. It's your ego trying to make you miserable. And if you did create a negative future, your ego would be very pleased with that. So much the better. But right now, all your ego cares about is that you're not happy. It's fine with that. So don't allow that to happen. And remember that the ego isn't an entity. The ego is yourself. The ego is part of your own mind that is has a goal of destroying your happiness and destroying your ability to be here now. The ego wants you living in the future or regretting the past. Right now, your past isn't so bad. The recent past doesn't look as bad. But if you really were to take care of the future fears, the ego would find something about your past to make you obsess over then too. Either way, its goal is met if it's taking you out of the present moment. So get busy in the present moment, doing those things that we said, those 3 things. It's really basic. It's not, excuse me. It's not a lot of work that you have to do. You don't need to do big magical operations. You don't need to do big invocations. You don't need to buy specific herbs or incenses or anything. You really just need to do very simple magical procedures like clean up a room, beautify a space or beautify yourself, and turn off your mind. If you can do those 3 things and just kind of juggle those 3 things, have a constant sort of waltz between those 3 steps all through the day, boy, the turnaround and the financial expansion are definitely assured. I don't know what's going on with my throat today. All right, so we've got this 10 of Cups in the recent past that your ego wants to relegate to the recent past. What is it that happened? Something nice happened. Something good happened. If you're worried about the future, you may not even know what I'm talking about. Your ego may be just so good at just like, no, nothing happened. What are you talking about? Nothing happened. Something good happened. Something good, wonderful happened. But it's not the thing that happened that's important. It's the outcome. It's the happiness. It's the joy. It's the satisfaction that is the thing. And the 10 of Cups is the happily ever after card, unless you let the ego put it in the past. And even when it's happening in the present moment, the ego's so sly about it. Isn't that nice what happened? Do you see how it did that? It's just like right into the past. Chopped it out of your experience so that it's a nice little memory. And then hopefully you'll forget that memory if it can do its job right. So don't allow that to happen. The happiness is for you right now. You know, and just tell yourself that my happily ever after is now. I'm living my happily ever after, and I don't believe anything that tries to convince me otherwise. I don't believe anything in my mind or in my environment that tries to convince me that I'm not in my happily ever after. And you can do it. You can find the little, what seem to be little, the little successes, the little joys, the little gratitudes in your life that seem so small and insignificant because it's exactly where the ego wants them. And when you do that, you remind yourself that your happily ever after is now, and anything that doesn't look like those things is a projection of your ego mind. It can seem like that's very challenging. It can seem like that's very difficult, but it's not. It's the normal way to be. When you understand, when we all get to the point where we understand that the universe's will for us, that why we were created in the first place is to be happy, we really feel like we've been taken to the cleaners by our ego. I always feel like a mark. I always feel like a mark when I realize that it's just like, I cannot believe how conned I have been about this whole world, this whole thing, when I could have been happy. We used to have a commercial back in, I think it was the 70s or maybe it was the 80s, where it was for V8 juice, and somebody would hit their forehead with their palm and say, "Oh, I could have had a V8." It's like that. I could have been happy. Well, you can be happy, and you're supposed to be happy. So let that be the case for you, and let yourself just notice where the happiness is. The happiness lies in the spaces between all the misery. The happiness is the constant peace that underlies all of the tension and all of the fear and all the scariness that the ego concocts for us. But it's still there. It's always there. And it's up to us to mine for that. It's up to us to, in fact, it doesn't even take a lot of mining. What it takes is a lot of relaxing. And that's really what this valet du bâton is all about, is learning. Learning about what makes you happy. Learning about what makes you happy. And if you spend your time learning and studying what happiness means to you, you don't have time for being afraid of your money and stuff like that. Because money is nothing more than energy, and energy must flow. And when you are feeling happy, look at what that is. It's like a fountain of flow. When you have that happiness, and when you have that joy, all the flow of energy is unblocked, and that includes the money. So a lot of times the best way to handle money is to stop thinking about money and to get into the flow of the joy and the happiness and the few things that you can do in the physical world, like getting things in order where they weren't in order, finding some beauty where there wasn't beauty, and shutting your mind down and letting the universe take care of you. Then you have nothing to worry about. You have no fears, and you'll see when you get into that so-called future where everything is fabulous, you realize, no, I'm in my happily ever after. Your ego will then put the fear of the future again and again and again, and that's fine. You just let it. You just don't resist it. I guess that is the bottom line. You don't want to resist any energy. So if the ego is trying to get you to be afraid, what it's trying to ultimately do is get you to resist what is. Don't resist. That's why Jesus said, do not resist evil. Because if you don't resist it, it disappears. It's really just a simple piece of metaphysics. So don't resist, shut down the mind, get things in order, get things beautiful, find the flow, realize that you are happy whether you realize it or not, and study that, learn that, be inspired by that, and let your mind be more occupied with your happiness than your fear of the future, and your future will take care of itself in a beautiful way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. We'll see everybody tomorrow for another daily reading. Until then, blessed be.